Hi everyone, welcome. I am Kim Beegler. I'm the owner of Ewethful Fiber Farm and Mill, and I'm here in the central part of Oregon, sitting in the mill today. For any of you new, welcome. I'm going to talk all about wool. I'm going to talk a lot about wool, especially in this episode. And for those of you that are coming back, thank you so much for coming back. And a quick shout out Winner Joyce from our last episode. She's going to get some fun yarn that is in the mail already on her way to her. So Joyce, welcome to the world of all different types of wool. Okay, you guys, I had to pop on today because I've been working with the Suffolk, which was the giant bale that we talked about, well, we've been talking about, but you finally got to learn what it was last week. And since then, so I took some home. I showed you the bobbin last time. I was hand spinning. Can't stop hand spinning this stuff. It spins up so beautifully, and I'm getting a really nice consistent fiber. And I plied it, I got it off the bobbins, soaked it, and I was like, I gotta go back on and talk about this again because I need to take a few steps back on a little bit harsher. I wasn't harsh on it. I think in Fiber Club or in Yarn Club, if you got the yarn, I was probably a little bit harsher on it than I needed to be. I didn't give it as much credit. How's that? And now that I have hand spun some of it also and gotten better at picking out some of the best fiber in that bale, whole different ball game. So I also wanted to answer quite a few of the questions that came in on the last episode. Okay, so first I wanted to show you, I didn't get any great pictures, it turns out, of the sheep that this wool came from. So I wanted to show you just an idea of what they look like. So they've got those black little legs, black faces, white fiber. And they can't, like a little bit of those black fibers can occasionally make their way in during shearing. Sometimes I think they clip certain parts that there would be little tiny bits of black occasionally throughout. So they're pretty, and when they're shorn, I think they're stunning sheep because their faces are so dark and then they've got this beautiful white body. So I think they're really beautiful sheep. I did want to, okay, so this is the field guide to fleece. I know it's backwards, but I think you guys can figure it out. It is by Deborah, Robson, and Ekarius. I will put it in, and it's just a little mini. It's like $15 so, and it has a lot of sheep in it, a lot of sheep referenced. And I wanted to just point out, it says over here that Suffolks are actually the most common breed in North America because they grow so well for meat. Is basically why they're primarily a meat sheep, and the wool, as I discussed, is not something that generally is a big, it's kind of a waste product from growing the sheep. So, and this book was in 2013, so not too terribly old. There are a lot of Suffolk crosses, and that people are growing primarily for meat, sometimes for wool, you never know. Kind of why when I was talking about earlier, it's not super usual to find Suffolk that has a beautiful fleece that I could work with. A lot of times they get pretty gunky and mucky, especially around here. They're out on the grass seed fields, and those can get pretty muddy. So somebody asked about if these were purebred Suffolk. The ones I got are pretty much purebred. A lot of times they're crosses because people are growing them for meat. They were primarily Suffolk. They had one or two other sheep out there, but they were primarily Suffolk, this wool. So I just wanted to show you that really quick, and my cat's gonna jump up on this chair, and I'm gonna try to keep her off my lap. Okay, so some of the other questions that came in. Okay, well, we'll talk about it like this. The biggest question from last episode was, I'm wearing a new bottom, and I don't want her to her nails get caught and stuff, even no matter how often I get those trimmed. Okay, so can you make socks out of this fiber? So I'm gonna say absolutely 100% now that I've worked with it on a different level, yes, it would be wonderful for socks. So why are so many people asking if this would be a good yarn to spin for socks? Because Suffolk is a down breed, and I have another down breed here. This is Horn Dorset. There is a little bit of this fiber left too in this color. This is Horn Dorset, and it's also a down breed. She's not gonna be. Okay, so Horn Dorset, Suffolk, they are in the down breed of sheep breeds. So down breeds they have very dense, crimpy, very springy wool. It tends to not be good for felting. So the common theory is that you could actually most likely wash down breeds in the washing machine. If accidentally those hand knit socks ended up in the washing machine, they probably would survive because the wool does not tend to felt. So I'm not recommending that, but you can try it certainly on a swatch of it. And it also is not going to, it's just not going to felt well. So it makes it a great wool for socks because there's so much friction when you're wearing socks. And more often than not, I have been guilty of it. My socks have ended up in the washing machine. So it 100% would be a great wool for socks. So part of the reason I was a little hesitant about that at first was because it was just seeming on the coarser end of the Suffolk. Usually Suffolk is in the mid 20s to high 30s. So when I was spinning it here at the mill, I was getting something a little bit coarser, but when I spun it at home, and this is one of the joys of hand spinning, I could really play with it in a different way, and I was able to get this most bouncy, springy, beautiful wool. So, do you want to see it? So, for everybody that asked last time, would this fiber make a great sock? Absolutely, 100%. Also, it takes dye well, so I am keeping it, at this moment, I've got it in the natural kind of an ivory color, but you could spin it up and then dye the yarn. So, I'm going to show you what came off here. And this skein has already been soaked. I mean, what can you say about that? That's absolutely stunning. It's so springy and beautiful. And honestly, I think I could wear this next to skin. I can wear things that most people probably couldn't. Not necessarily because of allergies, but because I just think I've desensitized a lot to it. I think that's one of the things that happens when you dive really deep into wool. You just, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to even guess, but I can wear things that a lot of people would say, there's no way. But I do think this 100% could be used for hats, for mitts, for gloves. It is squishy, beautiful, and it's not going to felt up, so it's going to last a while. I wouldn't put a ton of twist in it because like with any yarn, you put too much twist, you're going to end up closer to wire than a soft springy. And this has such a soft springy, that's just one of the attributes of the wool. Let's look at the wool again really quick because I have it sitting here in my lap. And you can see it's just very dense. It's got a lot of, so anyway, yes, I think I answered everybody's question there about the socks. I wanted to show you really quickly, and maybe I'll do it at the very end. I wanted to show you, I have one more skein, and there's more coming because I just keep grabbing more from the mill to take home to spin. I can't stop. I'm addicted. One other question I wanted to answer was Wendy asked, no, somebody else asked. I'm sorry, I can't remember who asked. Maybe it was Wendy. Asked how many pounds of wool do I think I'm going to get out of that bale? So the bale was approximately, we're going 400 to 450 pounds. I'm going to estimate that I will get about 150 pounds, maybe 200. That's raw. Then I've got to wash it, so I'm going to lose about a third of that to lanolin and dirt and all the other things. But I'm going to say around 150 pounds is probably what I'll end up with in fiber that is usable, and lots of it is going to be in roving form because it's stunning. But I am going to play with making it yarn. I'm just going to process it a little bit differently to get it to where I think it'll spin up a little bit easier. And now I've kind of got a good idea of what fiber in the bale I want to get to yarn. So, okay, quickly, and then this is it. I was just popping in here, doing a quick shorty, stepping back a little bit, saying I was a little harsh on this wool and now I can't stop. And now I can't. And I'm like, maybe I'll just spin a sweater out of this. I should just keep going, or a poncho, or a capelet, which for some reason I'm really into capelets right now. And I've never knit one, but I think I would wear it all the time, especially at home. Capelet just meaning like it comes to, you know, maybe here or so and hangs down so that it keeps your shoulders and it can keep your neck warm if there's a cowl portion to it. Okay. So just really quickly, and I have to stand up, so that's why I've been holding off on this. but I just wanted to show you the difference of, let's see if I can get it, the difference of this skein versus the skein that I have not soaked yet. And this is a testament to why we soak. So here's the bottom. I'm holding them at the same point at the top. We're gonna travel, 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 travel. Look at that. So this is the soaked one. This is the unsoaked. You can see at least an inch, probably closer to 2 inches of the fiber springs back up. So it soaks in the water and the wool just relaxes and it springs back up. That's one of the amazing joys of this, of the down braids, really. They're so springy that as soon as they get spun and they get back into where they want to be, isn't that amazing? Look at that. We can do it from that side. So much bounce and spring. So anyway, there is some of this fiber available in the online shop. There will be more coming. So I'm gonna put a little note when you order. I'll send out what I have in stock, and then it may be about a week or so before I can ship more, because I'm working on Fiber Club for January. It's actually on the carter right now. It'll be hitting the mail, all my Fiber Club subscribers. It'll start going out on Monday. And if you don't know about Fiber Club and you're a hand spinner, jump on my website, check it out. It's wool once a month that comes to your house with a little special gift. And it's really fun. And there's a Zoom portion to it now. So once a month, you can jump on and meet some of the other people in the club and hang out with me if you want. Okay, you guys, on that note, I am gonna take off. So I just wanted to pop in, say hi real quick, do a little update on this. Hopefully I will be back next week. In the meantime, stay healthy. I know it's hard to stay healthy right now, but stay healthy, make lots of pretty things, be kind to everybody around you. It makes such a difference in the world. And I will see you very soon. Thank you.